Hey
guys!
Hi guys, we are so super excited. This is our last episode for season 1. Woo! So this is like a big milestone for us because this is our last episode for season 1, which means we had several other episodes and we were able to get you guys to come and watch us. So we're super excited. We actually got a lot of comments on a lot of episodes. You guys kind of told us what you liked, what you didn't like. You know, we got a lot of feedback from you guys. So season 2 is going to be lit. We already have some people lined up. We can't wait. We are so excited for season 2.
Yes.
But today's episode is a recap to our whole entire season. We have some words of wisdom for you today. We want you in the next month to jumpstart your next opportunity. And today we are giving away $100 money that you will receive.
If it ain't about the money, hey. Because we understand that you guys are out here in these streets. COVID is still happening. We know people's unemployment situation. We know people's money is very tight, but we are making sure that you don't have any, because we are going to give you some money to jumpstart your next opportunity or your business or whatever venture that you want to do. So we're helping you. We're giving you money. We're not just talking about it. We're being about it. It's serious. It's not a game. So comment so you can enter into the raffle to win either $100, $50, or $25. So we have the money. We want to give it to you guys.
Yeah. So also, guys, we are going to tell you some of our favorite moments on our recap. Some things, I mean, we have favorite moments from every episode, and we are so excited for everyone who joined the show. But we had some pivotal, straightforward moments that we knew that were just going to be really great for you guys and really defined what we were talking about. So we're going to talk about that as well. So Bestie, can we talk about some defining moments for you?
Yes. Let's see. So one of the defining moments was when Jeffrey Riddick talked about speaking up for what you believe in. I just thought that Jeffrey's entire episode was just literally fire. He was speaking to my whole entire soul. But I really thought that it was very interesting how he talked about, you know, especially in the entertainment industry, so many people are like, oh, well, if they're this influential person and for whatever reason you step on their toes or you have a bad interaction with them, they're like, oh, you're never going to work again in this industry. And that can happen not just in the entertainment industry, but in any industry. And so a lot of people, sometimes they're afraid to speak up for what they believe in because when they see something that's going on that's wrong, or they know that they should be like paid more, or they know that they should like check that person in a professional way, they don't do it. But Jeffrey, like, he basically reinforce that you can speak up for what you believe in, because he said, you know how many times people told me I'll never work again, and I was literally working, like literally, I think like the next week or something like that. So I mean, that really resonated with me, because sometimes, you know, as you're climbing the ladder of success and you're meeting different people and you're like, oh, I gotta make sure I make a good impression, and it could be something simple. I mean, Tish, you know, even like when we PA'd or something like that, like it's like, oh, this person, I got their coffee wrong, or I had a typo in my email to this really influential person. What are they going to think about me? But it just really showed me that like persistence is key, and nobody can stop your dream or stop what God has for you. You know, what's meant to be is meant to be, as long as you persevere. So I thought that was one of the gems that Jeffrey dropped amongst many.
Yes. So we actually have a clip of that episode. So I'm going to do a playback for you all if you don't remember what Jeffrey was saying in that episode. So here we go.
Because the people that that's the thing, is like nobody you know, people that work in this industry, a lot of people work from fear and that, oh, I can't stand up to this person because I'll never work in this town again. there are maybe 5 people, if you pissed off, could maybe blackball you in this business. But people like to have that air of like power about them, where you think like if you say something, like I've worked with some shitty people that I can't believe that they've been hired. You know, people have called their agents and managers like, we know they're awful, we're going to fire them. They don't fire them, they keep working. So if you're a good person and you stand up to a shitty person, that person may be like, oh, you'll never. I've been told like 5 times I'm never going to work in this town again. I just laugh. I'm like, really? Really? So just don't be afraid. Like what I would say, just don't be afraid. And, you know, all we can do is demand the respect that we deserve as a human being, first and foremost, and then as a professional.
Yeah, there you go. He said it. Mm-hmm. And the thing that really what was so beautiful about that episode is because we were at a time in our country where a lot of things that have been like unsaid, a lot of things where people have been in passive aggressive situations, and they've been talking over podcasts, and they've been talking over the news, and they've been talking over shows about it. It was just really, really beautiful that he was able to be open and say, listen, you know, you're out there creating your own opportunities. You are your own business. There are people out there who are going to say things to you to make you feel like you are less than, or that you don't have a choice. But that's where we're standing. That is the change that we're going for right now in this industry, guys. Mm-hmm. And the more empowered you are, the more you have your audience together, the more you create your own opportunities, the less power that they will have over your opportunities. So that's the reason why we've really been pushing you all to create your own opportunities. And you know, you're more than welcome, guys, in the comments to tell us some other opportunities that maybe or some other things on the show that maybe you thought were pivotal. But these are just things that we know that people have been talking about, where we got the most comments and where we saw that you guys responded really, really well to. So we're just going to keep letting you guys know what it is that you have said to us, and then we'll tell you some of our really great moments.
Right. And Tish, also too, what I want to tell you guys out there watching and listening as well, you know, also learn how to put language around what aggression is, because there's various types. There's passive aggressiveness, and then there's microaggression. Microaggression is something that I was unfamiliar with, but microaggression, it happens very subtly. And, you know, sometimes you don't really know that it's happening, but you know that whatever is happening is wrong. So I would encourage everybody to develop language around that, develop awareness around different types of aggression. So that way we can break down those barriers and those things within our communities, so we can talk about it, we can understand it more, and then we can be equipped with the tools to combat and fight that. Because I know that in the workplace, I've experienced microaggression. I've also experienced microaggression from my white superiors. And now that I'm aware of that, I know when it's happening, and now I have tools on how to combat that. So I have language now where I'm like, oh, I know it's happening mentally. So now verbally, I'm going to speak in this way, and I'm going to approach this in this way. So that way I can come out of this situation on top. And we can do an episode about that and talk about that as well. But I just encourage you to also explore that as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're saying that, because quite frankly, guys, when you have what I've learned about being your own opportunities is when you have something that's valuable. When you have something that's valuable, it doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter how they feel. What matters is the value that you bring to whatever it is that you're bringing. And one thing that I do know and watching and evaluating industries, financial industries, the movie industry, you know, all industries is that everybody wants to make money. So if your idea and if your brand, and I say brand, and we're going to talk in season 2, we're going to talk more about branding and the things that will help you guys to brand yourselves. But will help you.
She's a master brander, just for all of you out there. Whatever. She's a master brander.
No, I'm not.
Everybody
guys. I am not. Don't let her fill up your head with foolishness, because anyway. I am not a master brander. What I am is an expert in my area, and I am very confident in what it is that I can bring to the table, which is what we want you guys to be, is confident in what you're bringing to the table. So I'm saying all this, guys, just to say that when you have something valuable, that is you. That is your brand. That is your creative side to bring to the table. Nobody can stop that. I always say what's for you is for you, and nobody can stop what it is that you're doing. Nobody. But we also understand, guys, that in order to get where you need, you have to also be able to collaborate with people. You have to be able to look for investors. I will say one of the episodes that we got a lot of responses on was our episode with Devin, with Devin, where he talked about creating your own opportunities, and he also talked about investing in yourself. So if you want other people to invest in you, you want other people to see what it is that you can do, then you need to invest in yourself. So we're going to play this clip for you guys.
I would really recommend, and is basically like if it's really something you're passionate about, like put a few thousand, 5,000, 10,000, whatever rainy day fund, family money, make a sizzle reel, make a short, make a teaser, make something that shows your concept, because there's so many, like, even decks. People always ask, where's your deck, and where's this? They send me decks, and it's like, I've done plenty in my lifetime myself because investors have asked, but honestly, if you can like put an idea on screen, even if it's 5 minutes, it's short. You could do like the swingers model of spending like 10, 20 grand and making a movie out of it. So you certainly can make for a few $1,000s. Certainly now with camera equipment, honestly, you could get a digital mirrorless camera that has that's it shoots 4K with a little bit higher an editor, there's someone who do color grading. Honestly, if you have a vision, you could put on screen in any way, or obviously scripts are great too, but it's scripts still. Either way, you really need to put something that's beyond what anyone else can put in front of somebody, which right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. So I think, I feel like it's so important that that people will invest in those who invest in themselves. Mm-hmm. And thank you guys for the comments. Let's give a shout out to Mia. Thank you, Mia. Yay, you guys are awesome. Thank you. We are trying our best in these streets, but thank you for the comment. And Mia will be entered into our contest to win $100, $50, or $25. Remember, guys, before the end of the show, to make sure that you comment on the show so we can help you start your next big venture. But one thing that we felt was really, really interesting about what Devin was saying is that people feel like you have to do so much more, or you have to meet your investor where you're at. You really don't. Us just doing this podcast, I might have spent like $60 and asked for a bunch of birthday gifts, to get my mics and
you got me my
for her birthday. I was like, oh, I'll get you a mic. Literally to create our own and invest in ourselves, guys. We literally just we were hustling and shuffling because we knew what we wanted to do, and we knew the opportunity that we wanted to have. And this, by us creating this opportunity, you have no idea how many opportunities have already been opened for us just from having our 13, 14 episodes. Right. So we want you all to we want you all to do the same thing. And thank you, Jess, for your comment. People will invest in those that invest in themselves. Priceless. Thank you, Jess. You will be entered in our contest. So remember again, guys, to comment on the side. But that's what we also want you guys to learn, is that your investment is really your sweat equity.
Right.
Your sweat equity is the amount of work that you are putting into your project to create an opportunity for yourself. So that may be, getting your script together and entering it into festivals and getting comments and getting critiques and doing rewrites and getting the right people to take a look at it and getting it scored. That may be your sweat equity so that you can get your project to a studio.
Right.
That may be the thing that you have to do to get your project to a studio, but you're putting in the work.
Right.
And people are going to respond well to those who are putting in the work for themselves.
Right.
So I want you guys to remember out there that you don't need all the things that people are saying. Even if you start a YouTube channel, even if you start your own consulting business, because all of you out there are experts in whatever it is that you're doing. All of you are experts. You have a skill and a talent that someone else wants. So that means it's a sellable talent. It is something that someone will pay money for. So remember that. Remember that whatever skill that you have, it's worth money.
We have another comment, Tish.
Huh?
We have another comment.
Oh, yeah.
And Dorothea.
And Dorothea, thank you so much. Defining microaggressions.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to, because if you don't know what it is, then how can you talk about it, right?
Right. But also, too, going back to what you were talking about with investing in yourself, Tish, some people investing in yourself might mean money. For some people, like you said, Tish, it might mean the physical act of doing something. So writing a script, getting in front of your iPhone and filming yourself for your YouTube show, or, creating an album, whatever you're doing. Investing is just really some type of physical manifestation where you're planting a seed and then you're watering it and watching it grow. And as it grows, that's when people are like, oh, you know what? I want some of that fruit. Let me come and get a piece of that fruit. But if you aren't bearing any fruit, if you never planted a seed, people aren't going to be able to eat of the fruit that you have. So, we want to see you invest in yourself. And also, Devin just blew the lid off my mind when he was talking about all of the things that you could do. I got on the phone with you, Tish, that night, and I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm about to write a script and create this sizzle reel, and it's going down because, as an actress, I have hopes and dreams and aspirations, but, being on this podcast, hearing these experts, it's really, and I don't know how you all feel who are watching this, but I know how I feel. And I'm like, oh, literally, we have given you tool after tool, and the people have given us tool after tool after tool and resource after resource so that we can actually, guys, because we're all doing it together, we can actually go out here and execute these dreams and level up. Because the thing about it is wherever you're at, whether you are an expert and you're trying to grow, or whether you're a beginner and you're trying to, say, hey, look at me, I want to spot in the game. We're all trying to get to the next level, to where we want to be. And we all want to invest in ourselves. So Devin, he was dropping all the gems, and I'm sorry, but a lot of times it boils down to money.
It does. It does.
Lots of money. So even if you're putting the sweat equity in so you can get money later on for the thing, it is all about the money.
Yeah, and part of leveling up, there are levels to this, right? And part of leveling is just starting from a place where whatever it is that you're doing ultimately will get you closer to where you want to be at, right? And then as you level up, you realize that at some point there has to be some money invested into that. And by that point, you have put a lot of sweat equity into that. And you might say, okay, well, it's time for me to put a little bit of money into this. And I'm ready because I'm getting the responses that I want from this, right? So then you get to that point and then you start putting your money into it, and then you level up and you're like, you know what, now I'm ready to approach people about this because I have put enough sweat equity. I've put enough of my own investment and my own money into this. I've been out there. I've got the comments. I've got the proof. I've got something. I've got something to show that what I have is valuable, you know?
It's called scaling. You ready to scale.
There you go.
You ready to scale. You know, we can do this mom and pop all day long, but when we want to be in Walmart, when we want to be in Target, when we want to be mass produced, we want to scale, right, Bestie?
There you go. Yeah. There you go. There you go. And that's where we want to get you guys at. And we know that everyone's at different levels when it comes to the money situation. But what I will tell you guys, as someone who deals with money, as someone who is finance for projects, you know, if you have something to bring to the table, if you have, I mean, I've been on projects where people have been at it for years, but because they have built it up, because they put it's like, it's ready. It's ready. And what I will say is no one and nothing can stop you for what you're for the time, energy, and the persistence that you have, because persistence is the name of the game. You think it's money? No, it's the persistence. You can get the money and then be gone tomorrow. You got to keep at it. You got to keep at it. I think I've told you this before. You know, I see people who spend so much money on their stuff and then they don't get the response and then they stop. And then I see people, they're just out there. They're just doing it. They won't stop. And I see them and I've seen them for years. And then next thing you know, they're doing so-and-so with big so-and-so. And it's because everybody sees them all the time, you know? So your sweat equity matters. Your sweat equity matters. It's just where you're at in your journey, you know?
Right.
But that all comes together to talk about the thing that we've talked about a lot on this show, which is mindset. Mindset, right? Mindset ready. You got to get the mindset ready. And we've talked about that a lot, because there should not be a person who should be able to tell you that you can't do this. Not me, not Quoia, not anybody. There's no one who should be able to tell you that you're incapable of doing what it is that you put your time, energy, and sweat equity into. Too. And if we are the people who are going to stop you, then that's what we're going to talk about next with Andy Fickman. You know, he came on, he said a little bit about that. We're going to show you guys that right now.
You know, I think that your hope is that you can just stay positive and passionate, knowing that you are going to be told no so much. I spend a lot of time, we've had a lot of interns at our company. I speak at a lot of universities. And one of the things I would always sort of get known for a bit was the opposite, which is I'd start very negative. I would sort of talk about the most horrible things, like you're not going to make it. And part of it was, if I'm the one who convinces you you're not going to make it, you were never it was never meant to be. And it should be that it's just picking yourself up by the bootstraps and moving forward. And so I try to treat each day like it's a new day. What I love about creativity for all of us, an actor, a producer, a writer, that's on us. Like nobody's gonna call us. Maybe somebody calls and is like, hey, here's an offer, but you have an idea. It's up to you to create it. I'm gonna create my stuff. You're gonna create your stuff. Maybe we're gonna come together, but that means you wake up every morning having that new energy. And we've all been like, there are times when every day feels like a pandemic. There are times when you wake up and you're like, I'm just gonna lay here.
He said every day feels like a pandemic. I love Andy. He's so funny.
Guys, if you check out the episode, you are in for some laughs. That was a really great episode.
Yes.
So hilarious, guys. We just couldn't stop laughing.
Oh my gosh. But Tish, you know, one of the things that I wanted to talk to everybody about too is I remember reading a lot of books about wealth and personal self-development a few years ago. And I mean, I'm always reading, but specifically when I was kind of focusing on mindset. And one of the themes that I saw within books like Robert Kiyosaki and whatnot is that wealth, or whatever it is that you are trying to become, actually starts within the mind. So when you know that you are an actress or a writer or a producer or an entrepreneur, and you know that you are a successful actress, writer, or entrepreneur, and you know that you are financially prosperous, that actually happens mentally before it manifests physically. You literally can be, and how it manifests is through the journey. So the journey is like what Tish is talking about with the sweat equity. That's the time you're putting in, getting up again, getting back up several times after being rejected. That's the journey. But mentally, as that is happening, you are becoming that. You are manifesting into that. But it starts here. Like, you know I'm wealthy already because mentally my mindset is continuously changing over and over and over again, and it is evolving. So I'll give you an example. You have some people where they'll teach their kids, they'll say, their kids will come home and they'll say, this didn't happen, or, I failed at this or that. And you'll have some parents who will be like, oh, I'm so sorry, you put your best foot forward. And then you'll have other parents who have a wealth mindset who are like, that is so awesome. Good job. Now, you know what? Go back out, do it 10 more times. That is a wealth mindset, to not be defeated when something doesn't pan out, but to be excited because you're like, oh, and then to be like, oh, well, what did I learn from this? That's the manifestation of the wealth or the success. So mindset, we all have to really invest in our mindset, and we have to develop our mindset. Exactly. Yes. Your talent is a source of wealth. So you are already that. If you're a talented actress or writer, director, you are that. It's just the manifestation of operating within the realm that you want to be in. That's happening. But my friend Kyrie, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Kyrie, you're absolutely right. That is true. So it starts with the seed. You water the seed, you plant it, and then you watch it grow. And that is through mindset. Everything starts with mindset. Mindset is tied into starting, it's tied into sweat equity, it's tied into manifestation, and it's tied into operating. Oh, Saray. Okay, Saray. It's all tied into you operating within the realm that you want to be in. So and is huge.
And part of that also, guys, because when you have the right mindset, it brings a sense of confidence.
Yes.
Part of that is when you have worked on yourself so much to where you're in the mindset to be able to receive everything that's coming towards you. There is something beautiful about that, because there's a confidence, and you can definitely, you feel it, you see it in yourself. You're confident when you're asking for the money that that you deserve, because you deserve it, because you worked hard for all these years. You're confident in that. You're confident in what you bring to the table. You know that you have value, and you establish yourself as something in your artistry, something invaluable to you, but valuable to others. Right? So we're trying to get you to a point where you really understand what your value is, and that whatever you have, when you bring it to the table, it means something. Even if I had a conversation recently with a writer, and she said, I don't feel like I'm like this person or that person, because when I'm out there, I don't feel like I'm the person or the expert or whatever. I said, but you are. Then you do the work, but you are, right? So if someone's coming to me, and if you're coming to me and you're asking me to do something, you're seeing something in what I'm doing, which means that from beginning to end, you're looking for me to complete something, right? So there's something valuable about that. There's something beautiful about that people see the value in you. But in order for you to level up, you got to see the value in yourself and the skills that you have, because they are valuable. And speaking of what's valuable, what's not valuable, we had Miss Kimberly J. Harris on. She's the mother of Michelle Michelle Harris, and she talked about having that intuition. With her, it definitely was God. God who spoke to her, told her what she needed to do, and it led her in different directions. So we know at some point, guys, that you can't do it all yourself, but some of it, guys, it's just that thing inside of you, that spirit inside of you, that God inside of you that leads you to where you need to be. Take a look at this.
Between the age of 4 and 12 play with. And they're these dolls that you can find all over the world. And they're owned by Little Tikes MGA. And so mommy submitted her because I was praying. And I'm like, Lord, now I know you told me to move to California. Now I got here. All these agents who told us to come, we're not getting anything. Lord, please. And so I started to take matters into my own hands because I was impatient. And so I signed a document, which I knew it was troubling in my spirit when I was signing it. But I was determined that I was going to do this. I signed a document with a company, and it was for a small part, which was really, really cute. And it ended up, going viral. Very cute. But it kind of locked us into, I didn't know I was giving exclusivity for certain terms. I didn't realize, because I'm not an attorney. I read the contract, but I didn't know exactly what it meant. Long story short, we were able to work through that. Things went great. Well, as I did that, because they liked working with Michael Michelle, who was 4 at the time, they then said, we have a new toy line coming out, and we would love for her to be part of a duo that uses this toy and unboxes. We're going to try a new concept. Again, fast forward, 1 million subscribers later and over 175 million views. She is one of the parts of the duo for LOL Surprise. And so when we go on the street, barring Mixed Dish, barring AB's, HBO, Showtime, she's had shows on all of these stations. The thing that we get recognized the most for is LOL Surprise.
Oh, surprise. Girl, I know those little dolls in the circle with the little, the kids, they love those. They love those. Dr. Kimberly, she was just a wealth of knowledge. I mean, literally just a beautiful, wonderful spirit to have on the show. And one of the things that I really took from that is just really listening to your inner voice. I don't know if any of you all have, hey, Lynn, we see you commenting on the mindset. I don't know if any of you guys have had the chance to read the book, The Untethered Soul. But it really talks about sitting at the seat of consciousness and really listening to your inner voice, but also not allowing your inner roommate to take you here or there, but really just standing and sitting firm in who you are, what you believe, and having a calm in your spirit. And I think that's what Dr. Kimberly is talking about. For me, I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. So for me, I'm always consulting God about God, what is my next move? God, what should I do? And I'm convicted in my spirit about things. Mm-hmm. And that is when that leads me to whether I'm going to do this project or not do this project, or whether I'm going to, work with this person or not work with this person. But whoever you are, whatever or whoever you believe in, we all are spiritual, and we all have an inner voice, and you have to learn how to listen to that and sit in that and not allow the world to take you here and there, because that is how you're going to know who you want to work with. Your core, you're going to know, okay, this person, our core values align. This person, this is how they do business. This is how they treat people. It's no different from everybody who is rallying together for the Black Lives Matter movement. We all may believe in different things, but one core thing that we all believe in is equality. We believe in equality, and that people should be treated with compassion and respect, because we live in a country that is supposed to be created for people to live and have freedom of speech, freedom to believe in whatever they want to believe in, and to be whoever they want to be. And so those same principles apply in business and in your business and in your artistry. And that's what Dr. Kimberly was saying, is that, you know, you have to listen to that voice. You have to sit at the seat of consciousness. And you know that if your whole life, or you've been working at this goal or this project or this dream for X amount of years, it's just not panning out. And you're like, but I know that this is for me. I know it. I believe it. You might have even seen it. You might have gotten a vision or something like that and seen it so clearly. But like, what's happening in your life is not panning out. Don't lose faith. Don't lose sight of that. Keep going and learn how to listen to that. I was speaking to a group of young girls about this with the Youth Exposure Project. And I was like, man, I wish when I was a teenager, I learned how to listen to that voice, because it's there. You don't need to it's not like you need to pull from anything. You feel it. You feel when something's not right. You feel when something's wrong. You feel when you're like, you know what? This is not what I want to do. I'm over here working this job and doing this thing, and this is not, this isn't it. So, just sitting at the seat of consciousness and listening to that inner voice, I think is extremely valuable.
And I agree with that, Bessie. I definitely think that it just, we've been kind of conditioned to kind of side eye our own voices, and to listen to others.
Especially women.
Yeah,
we have been emotional. You're too this.
Yeah, we've been conditioned to do that, and I think that it's something that, as you get older and you become wiser, that you start to listen more to, because those voices start to kind of fade away as you get older. People start dying off. Like they just, I'm being real. Like people start going, and then you're like, who's going to tell me what to do anymore? And you realize that, you realize that thing you should have been listening to and building the whole time is the thing you should have been listening to. Thank you, Jasmine. Yeah, we do get discouraged. We do get discouraged. And I think it's a really hard thing for all of us out there, as we try to go with what it is that thing inside of us tells us to do. It's a hard thing to kind of listen to it, because of everything that's going on, like Quoia is saying. But at some point you gotta muster the courage. And it takes courage to listen to your inner voice. So guys, remember to comment for a chance to win. I know, for a chance to win.
We actually have a lot of comments. Saray was saying that, people discourage you often. And we had another comment. But I think what we were talking about with mindset before, everything, guys, ties back into mindset, because when you're discouraged, where do you seek hope? How do you stay motivated? That is developing your mindset and knowing where to go and where to go to, what to go to, and what things to turn to get yourself to a place where you can pick yourself back up and start again. It could be a friend. Tish has literally had to pull me up by my bootstraps, tears streaming down my face, and been like, oh, this dream you thought you was gonna quit, I mean, like, you know, with coming to me with compassion and empathy, but she was just like, okay, so now, like, what are we going to do? Okay, so now what are we going to do? And vice versa. I have like Tish crying, tears, and I listen, or mad, and I'm like, okay, bestie, okay, so you said X, Y, and Z. We have had to literally reiterate each other to each other. We have had to speak like I'm Tish. I have had to speak like I'm Tish to Tish in her times of discouragement, so her own words can pick her back up again. I've had to go and listen to motivational speakers, read books, pray to God, read my scripture. I needed a lifeline. Something. Sometimes, guys, one day I was so convicted. Let me tell you, so down and out. I went to Prospect Park and I saw a firefly. I'm so serious. It's not even funny. I saw a firefly and I listened to jazz, and the magic of the moment in the city lifted me up again. But it's developing the mindset and the tools and the resources to get back up again, because we're going to get discouraged. And then that also brings us to our boy Davon's comment, where he asked John Cry, what is your mountaintop? And I'm going to tie it all in, because this is the thing. Even when you get to the mountaintop, guys, don't you know that we're still going to get discouraged? Even people, I mean, look at Robin Williams. I mean, look at these people that are literally in the prime of their careers, and they've committed suicide, or they've had, you know, their marriages have fell apart, or they've gotten so overwhelmed that they couldn't function and they couldn't create anymore. But see, we're all about holistically, mind, body, spirit, and soul in all ports of our lives, leveling up and being successful. And me and Tish talk about that all the time whenever we're speaking. We're like, listen, we don't want success at a cost. We want success in all ports of our lives, personally, professionally, spiritually, emotionally. So thank you, Davon.
Thank you, Davon. And thank you, Janelle. Thank you, Janelle, for the comment. Janelle Bradley, thank you.
Yes,
thank you, Jasmine and Davon, for your comments. But to talk about a little bit with John Cry, we're going to actually show you guys that, because it ties into everything that we've been talking about the whole entire season. So listen to this.
John, what's your mountaintop? As in, when you career-wise or work and life, what's your mountaintop?
I'm going to get real for a second. I had it. I already reached my mountaintop, and I had a moment that I now refer to as a Liu Mubai moment, which is a reference to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There's a moment in that film. The character Liu Mubai is played by Chow Yun-fat, and he's a swordsman, and he's a Buddhist, and he's studying. He's trying to reach enlightenment, and in his studies he goes up the mountain to these higher and higher monasteries, and when you reach the top, you'll have enlightenment. And he says he reaches the top of the mountain, and he found no enlightenment. He only found emptiness, and he comes back down the mountain feeling disappointed that he doesn't understand why emptiness would be at the top of the mountain. It's not until later that he understands that emptiness is the point. But at that moment, he comes down disappointed. And I had this moment, my own mountaintop moment, was in, I want to say it was 2009. I might have the year wrong, 2008 or 2009. And I was in Cannes at the Cannes Film Festival, and the company that I was working for, Newmarket, was going gangbusters. We'd hit every marker of success that I had wanted the company to hit, and I was at a party in the south of France, and it was on a yacht, and I had that moment that I think a lot of people have when they're at like a big party, when there's a lot of celebrities around, and there were a lot of celebrities around. Is like, I wonder if there's like, is this the party, or is there like an after party, or is there like a party behind the party? You know, where's like the cool party? That's when you go to like film festivals when I was young. It's the kind of thing you're doing. It's like, where's the best party at? And I suddenly realized that like this party is getting a little bit lame. Maybe I want to leave out of here. And I just made that decision too late because the boat pulled away from the dock, and it was going to do this hard loop around the harbor and come back. And that's like going to be like an hour. And so it was like, oh, damn, I'm going to be on this boat for an hour. And I turn, and there's somebody right next to me has had that same realization. And I'm standing on there like, oh, damn it. And I turn and I look, and it's Eddie Murphy. And I realized, and, you know, and it's him and his guys, and everyone's like disappointed and like pulling at their phones, like, we're going to be on this boat. And I suddenly realized, if Eddie Murphy is here, there is not another party. I'm on a boat in south of France with Eddie Murphy. There's not another cooler party than this. This is it. And it's lame. Lame as hell. And none of us want to be here, and we're stuck for the next hour. And I suddenly realized that any part of the business that was going to be about the trappings of it, or there's going to be another party, there's going to be something cooler, there's going to be a celebrity I'll meet, there's going to be at some point a key is handed to me, and I turn the thing, and this white light hits me, and I'm, it doesn't exist. It does not exist. The only thing that exists is the work, and the only thing that exists really for you is going to be how the work makes you feel. And
guys, that was such a great episode. If you didn't have a chance to check that out, I think you guys are going to get a lot and understand a lot about creating your own opportunities, pitching your projects to studios and small production companies. And it just was such a unique episode because we had a Davon on there who's always so supportive. He is our guy we reach out to all the time. Podcast guest.
Our friend, our homie. No,
yeah,
podcast buddy.
Yes, guys, and he did some really great stuff on his podcast, The Receipts with Davon Williams. So if you didn't have a chance to check it out, they ended their season a couple weeks ago, but all of his podcasts are still up. Please check it out. He is fantastic, guys, and you really missed some things, but really check out that episode with John, because one thing that he emphasized is you think when you get to where you want to be at, right, that is going to be the answer to all your problems, and it's not. It is not going to answer all of your problems. You have to enjoy this journey.
And that I was just about to say, you know, that quote that's like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. John, he literally solidified that. Davon, we love him, but he literally solidified that. You know, you hear a lot of successful people talk about that, where they're like, you know, I didn't realize when I was trying to make it how much fun, you know, like even how much fun, you know, like the musicians, how much fun, you know, being in these hotel rooms and being on the road and trying to make it, you know, it's so much fun. And we sometimes talk about that too, Tish, even like when we were grad school and we were drinking cheap wine and we were, you know, remember when we used to have our little dates after rehearsals and stuff like that on the weekend.
Yeah.
We used to have your date with Jonathan. Friday was our little date night when we we cooked, and life was so simple. Life was so simple. And it's just like, even though we're in a different place financially, we can afford some things that we couldn't before, but it's like, that was a blast, like, you know, and that's why I think especially during COVID, I think it's teaching us all, to be present. I think everybody more than ever is really learning how to be present. And I think the same applies to our artist and entrepreneurship journey, is that, this is it. It's not when, no, this is life. This is the life, and like you said, it's the work. It's like, it's me and you doing this podcast. It's just having like a play in the
It's you guys showing up, every single day. You have to show up for your dreams every single day, and I just had a moment, yesterday it was my brother-in-law's birthday party, and we were dealing with different people, and they were all talking about, how they go through their journey, right? And someone had commented, I'm just not ready for this, I'm not ready for that, and I just enjoy this so much. And I thought to myself, like, I'm such a pusher, like, you got to do this, you got to do that, create your own opportunity. But the point of you doing all this, guys, is so that you can do what you love and you can make money from it.
Right.
It's not about rushing into like creating your own LLC or being the sole proprietor. Like, I want you to create something that you love, that you enjoy, and that the journey will be even sweeter because you get to do what you love.
Right.
And I've had so many comments over the years. They're like, you're so lucky to do what you love. And I'm thinking, like, well, why are you not? Mm-hmm. Like, why do you have to look at me and say, well, you're lucky? Because I am conscious enough to know that if I do it any other way, I'm just not going to be happy. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. So I think the goal is that it's not for you to deter from what it is that you love, guys. It's not for you to stop doing it, but it's to create multiple avenues to do that. Right. For us, we're doing our children's album, we're doing our podcast, we have other projects that we're going to do. It's all in the same realms of what it is that we love, right?
Right.
But we're creating these opportunities because at the end of the day, we love what we do. We love what we do. We love being artists, but we realistically also know we got to make money. So we want you guys to make money. We want you guys to make money off of what you do because you deserve it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If nobody ever told you that you deserve to make money, I am telling you, from someone who has worked really, really hard, you deserve it. You deserve every penny.
And the era of the broke struggling artist is over.
Over.
Literally, with everything happening with social media and the information age and everybody becoming experts, there really are tools and resources out there to allow artists to diversify so they can make money off of whatever you're passionate about or whatever skill, like Tish speaks about, whatever skill that you have. I mean, it's crazy the different ways that you can make money if you're seeking it. And I think that also starts with having the mindset when you start things. I've done artistic things that were very gratifying, but I didn't make any money. I didn't make any money at them. But the thing about it is I didn't start with the intention to make money. The things me and Tish are doing, we said, what are we passionate about and how can we make some money? We started off with that intention. And so all it takes is just a little bit of intention, because when you shift your intention to saying, okay, I want to make money off of this, that affects how you move, that affects the different things that you do and how you put yourself and your work out there.
Yeah. And guys, we always talk about Davon. He's one of our favorite people. He's always coming around. From day one, we were just like, Davon, we're doing this. And he was doing his thing and he was all for it. And we love him for it. So we also know that he's out there. He's doing his thing. He's taking steps. And we want you to know that the people that we're bringing on, they're very settled in their careers. And so is he. But he also jumped out to do his podcast. So I want you guys to hear what he had to say about jumping out and creating an opportunity.
I think that COVID in itself was a gift because we're all forced to sit and deal. And that works both ways. Anxiety is up. Suicide rates are up. Depression is up. And like we're all being forced to deal with ourselves. And what's wild about these moments is just like the last recession, just like the Great Depression, just like these moments of real big downtime, this is what dictates the future. So the people who move in these moments right now, like you all are doing with your show, these are the things that are going to yield fruit, because right now we're in a down time. This is the moment you have to be the most active you are, because it's needed. So for me, the short answer is, of course it did. Of course, you can't help but, because me, I will lean in. I need to do something. I'm not just going to sit back. And that's kind of one of the big things. And yeah, I think one of the biggest things we have to do is, if you are a leader, you learn really quick that you have to listen. And that means you have to listen to everything. If someone's coming to you with something, there's a reason. And sometimes it's not always sinister. Sometimes people want to protect your heart. Sometimes people want to protect you from what they've gone through. They want to advise you. They want to make sure that you're not wasting your time. And sometimes they're just showing you they don't see the value. And you got to understand what all that is saying. When people are saying, oh, you don't have a following, you don't have this, what I heard was, oh, you're right, I have to plan better. I got to get deeper into that strategic plan. You're so right. That is such a good compliment. Thank you. I work with that. Like, you have to really understand what's being told. And then another thing is also past experience. Like, everything, as soon as even before we come out the womb, everything plays its part. And the adversity hypothesis is something that I study a lot, in which a lot of people will go through these major traumas or these major moments, and it defines who they are as a person. Because the younger you are and the sooner you deal with things, the better prepared you are for it. It's like 10,000 hours, Malcolm Gladwell. You go in, you put in your hours, and once you learn and build up that skill set, boom, there it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I do think it's something to say, guys, and for all of you out there, you know, we just want to let you guys know, first and foremost, that we appreciate you all. You know, you've been on a ride, along the ride with us. You have helped us get to the next step of where we're going at with this show. We have some really great things for season 2, so we really want to thank you out there. Remember, guys, before we end, to comment. Comment so that you can be, I'm just.
You can enter a chat. I got you, bestie.
Out there. Thank you. See, this is what happens when you have an accountability buddy. They just speak what you're trying to say. That's all I'm saying, y'all. But also, guys, I do want to give you a couple of things that I think that if you haven't thought about what you can do, just a couple of things that I wrote down that maybe could help you guys while you're out there trying to create your new opportunities. One thing is create a nonprofit. A lot of people are creating nonprofits. It's a really great way to get yourself out there, to do something that you're passionate about and you love. And it's also a way to still work within the realms of what you do, and to get grants. And we'll talk about that in season 2. I'm actually going to have someone who does grants come on the show and tell you what you need to do to get grants, guys. Tell you what you need to do step by step. Another thing you can do, guys, is if you have expertise in a certain area, or you're knowledgeable in a certain area, and I'm sure you all are, at some point you're knowledgeable about something, you can write a book, ebook, workbook, guides, children's book, write a play. All of those things are actionable things. You can create an online class or instructional videos, podcasts, YouTube channel, consult. You can consult people, help them do what it is that you have already done. You can create an album. That's what we did. You can create a musical album, a motivational album. You can create a spoken word album. Can we, spoken word? Okay. Shout out to our poets out there. Shout out to our poets. Okay. We ain't forget about you, poets. We know that make a poetry album with some music in the background. You can also do an advice column. I've seen a lot of people do that, and blogs. This is one that I thought was, it may have to wait until a little next year, but a lot of people are also creating events, retreats, and workshops. So if there's something that you want to share with a group, you can start a Facebook group. A lot of people I know in the pandemic, they started Facebook, like Millennium Moms, Millennium Wives, Millennium Artists. I mean, I saw a lot of Millennium.
People are doing retreats on Zoom too. I've seen Zoom retreats and Zoom like meditation retreats or whatever, and everything comes on to Zoom.
But also, like, for those who are in like areas where you have like a lot of woods, or maybe if you're in city areas where you have like a park or something, it's really easy to do a retreat outside somewhere where you can have the distance, So I would really encourage you, if you've been thinking about it, think about it now. We're going to give some resources out there. We actually have an ebook coming, guys, with some of these resources out there, so we can help you guys create some of the opportunities. Season 2 will be at the beginning of October. We'll be coming back with season 2 and with some things that'll be able to help you guys out. But also, guys, I want to say this. Yesterday was our 1 year anniversary of us creating our own opportunity. 1 year. We started a publishing company 1 year ago. Yesterday was our anniversary. We created music. We are creating a curriculum, and we were able to figure out that what we were doing, we talked about this on our other shows, what we were doing was social emotional learning. And that's because, again, we were letting people know what we were doing while we were creating our own opportunity. We thought we were just doing some music for kids, but it turns out that we are actually going to be motivating and, motivating and helping kids, So I think that you'll be surprised when you start while you're creating your opportunity, put yourself out there, talk to people, create your Facebook page, invite all your friends, because all of a sudden, every other family member I had was like, oh yeah, you could talk to so-and-so teacher who knows this and do that. And then when you start talking to teachers, it's like, oh yeah, well, we get this from the school district. Oh, our principal just buys it. And we were just like, what? Like, do you get what I'm saying? So I'm just letting you guys know, by creating your own opportunities, it opens the door for other opportunities. And we found our way. We found our opportunity by creating our own opportunity within one year, guys. 1 year. So we want you to do that for yourself as well. And I can't say enough how much we just appreciate you guys again, and all of your support, and just coming back time and time again, asking us your questions. And it's really been a really real treat for us as well on the show. So thank you guys. And we see you in the comments. See you in the comments,
guys.
Thank you for congratulating us. Season 2 will be in October, guys. We have some real treats for you guys coming up in season 2. And thank you. Mm-hmm.
And we also want to thank the other guests on our show for the clips that we couldn't show. We want to thank Yamoria, Carrie Hinkson, Giovanna Mundy, Callie Turner, and Emmy-nominated actor Melvin Jackson Jr., and Broadway and Hollywood actress Pamela Shaw. So thank you guys so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. You have no idea just how encouraging and motivating it is just to see you guys comment every Thursday night. And just the love on social media. When you're doing something and you're operating within the realm that you want to be in, and you're doing it with integrity, and you're doing it within your moral compass, like all of the fruit that you bear, it just feels so awesome. So that's how come I know that we're on the right path, and we love you all for everything. Literally, we don't take you for granted at all.
Yeah. So guys, thank you. This is the end of our season 1. Woo!
Cut it up. Cut it up.
Oh. We got
Get it. Get it.
That's enough for us celebrating. We thank you guys again. And we will catch you guys again in 1 month.
A winner.
Yes, and we will be picking a winner this evening. We will contact that winner via your Facebook Messenger. We'll be contacting you, and we will be announcing our 3 winners tomorrow. Even if we can't get you tonight, we will be announcing our 3 winners tomorrow on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You ain't gonna miss us. You're not gonna miss it. We are definitely gonna make sure that we announce
your money.
Yeah, so that you can create your next opportunity, or sometimes mindset wise, you just need to do something nice for yourself. So you want to go to the nail shop, you want to get you your next little whatever you've been trying to save up for, then you know what, we're glad that we are able to contribute to that.
Yes.
So thank you guys again, and we will see you in October. Bye guys.
Bye.